There is an animal with rust-red fur, a ringed tail, white-lined ears, and the face of something that was designed specifically to make human beings feel overwhelming affection. It is the size of a large house cat. It moves through the Himalayan forests with a kind of deliberate, curious calm that makes it look like a creature from another era. And it has fewer than 10,000 individuals left in the entire wild. Every time a video of this animal goes viral on social media, every time millions of people watch it and think I want one, the pressure on that already critically small wild population increases. Because someone, somewhere, responds to that demand by going into the forest and taking one. Today, we are talking about the red panda. And today, the honest answer to our question matters more than almost any other episode we have done. Should you keep a red panda as a pet? Let's find out. The red panda, scientifically named Ailurus fulgens, is one of the most taxonomically unique animals alive today. For decades, scientists debated where exactly it fit in the tree of life. It was placed with bears, then with raccoons, then with weasels. Today it occupies its own unique taxonomic family, Ailuridae, with no close living relatives. It is an evolutionary singularity. The closest thing we can say is that it is most distantly related to skunks and raccoons through deep evolutionary history. But practically speaking, the red panda is its own thing entirely. The red panda is native to the temperate forests of the eastern Himalayas and southwestern China. Found across Nepal, Bhutan, India, Myanmar, and China at elevations between 6,000 and 15,000 feet above sea level. It lives in forests with a dense bamboo understory and cool temperatures year-round. This highly specific habitat requirement is central to understanding why keeping one in captivity is nearly impossible outside of specialized institutional settings. The red panda is the original panda. It was first scientifically described in 1825, 48 years before the giant panda was described to Western science. The word panda is thought to derive from the Nepali word ponia, meaning bamboo-eating animal. Both the red panda and the giant panda share this bamboo-eating trait and were named for it, but they are not closely related. The two species diverged approximately 43 million years ago and independently evolved their bamboo diets and false thumbs through a process called convergent evolution. Red pandas are small. Adults weigh between 8 and 17 pounds and measure roughly 20 to 26 inches in body length with a tail of 12 to 20 inches. They have distinctive rust-red fur on their back and sides, black fur on their legs and belly, and a pattern of white and reddish-brown on their face and ears that makes them immediately recognizable. Their tail is marked with alternating red and buff-colored rings, and like giant pandas, they have a false thumb and extended wrist bone that functions as an opposable digit for gripping bamboo stalks. In the wild, they live 8 to 10 years. In well-managed captivity, they can reach 12 to 14 years. The conservation status of the red panda is endangered on the IUCN Red List. The wild population is estimated at fewer than 10,000 mature individuals, though the IUCN notes that multiple survey attempts have produced inconsistent data, making an accurate count difficult. What is consistent is the direction of change. The population has declined by approximately 50% in the past 2 decades. Habitat destruction through deforestation and agricultural expansion. Climate change reducing the bamboo growing zones they depend on, disease spread from domestic animals, and poaching, increasingly driven by pet trade demand, are the primary causes of this decline. Understanding the red panda's actual personality and behavioral needs is essential for honestly answering the pet question, because the reality is very different from the image projected by viral videos. Red pandas are solitary animals. In the wild, they live alone except during breeding season, occupying individual home ranges that they defend against other red pandas. They are not social animals in the way that dogs or even cats are. They do not seek companionship. They do not form bonds with humans in any natural way. The calm, curious appearance that makes them so appealing in wildlife footage reflects an animal that is carefully navigating its environment on its own terms, not an animal that is inviting. Human interaction. Red pandas are crepuscular, most active at dawn and dusk. During the day, they sleep curled in the branches of trees, wrapping their tail around themselves for warmth. They are temperature-sensitive animals adapted to cool, high-altitude environments. When temperatures rise above 77 degrees Fahrenheit, they enter a state of reduced activity. In hot weather, they become lethargic and stressed. This thermal sensitivity is one of the most significant practical barriers to keeping a red panda in most of the continental United States, where summer temperatures routinely exceed this threshold. Red pandas communicate through body language, scent marking, and a range of vocalizations, including a twittering sound during friendly encounters and a huff-quack call when alarmed. They have long, sharp claws perfectly suited for gripping tree branches, and these claws can easily and severely injure a person during handling. They emit a strong, musky odor from scent glands near the base of the tail, a smell that most people find deeply unpleasant, and that permeates any indoor space the animal inhabits. The red panda's diet is 95 to 98% bamboo, specifically selected for the most tender and nutritious leaf tips. They must eat up to 30% of their body weight in fresh bamboo daily because their carnivore digestive system, inherited from meat-eating ancestors, extracts only limited nutrition from plant material. They lack the specialized gut microbes of true herbivores. This means their bamboo consumption is simultaneously enormous in volume and nutritionally inefficient by design. In the wild, they supplement with berries, fruit, occasional insects, and rarely small mammals. In captivity, this highly specific and volume-intensive dietary requirement presents challenges that are essentially impossible for a private home to meet. The social media problem deserves specific attention in this section. The IUCN has explicitly noted that poaching of red pandas could be in response to the animal's recent popularity on social media. When cute red panda videos go viral, when millions of people watch them and comment, "I want one," that demand signal reaches the illegal pet trade. Poachers respond to market demand. Every person who watches a red panda video and openly expresses the desire to own one contributes, however indirectly, to the pressure on a wild population of fewer than 10,000 animals. Understanding this connection is part of responsible engagement with this animal. The legal answer here is comprehensive, serious, and allows essentially no realistic path to private ownership anywhere in the United States. The red panda is protected under the U.S. Endangered Species Act. Under federal law, it is illegal to import, export, sell, purchase, or possess a red panda obtained in violation of the Act. Violations can result in fines of up to $50,000 and a year in federal prison for civil violations, significantly more for criminal violations. No permit exists for private pet ownership of a red panda. The permit system that does exist under the ESA is designed exclusively to support conservation, scientific research, and accredited zoological programs, not private households. Internationally, the red panda is listed on CITES Appendix I, the most restrictive international conservation category, meaning commercial trade is prohibited worldwide. Import into the United States requires both an export permit from the country of origin and an import permit from the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. Even if both permits were obtained, the use of the imported animal would be restricted to non-commercial purposes. There is no legal pathway by which a private individual could import a red panda for use as a household pet. Some sources online suggest that red panda ownership may be technically possible in certain U.S. states through exotic animal permit systems. Florida and Texas are sometimes mentioned. This information is misleading at best. Whatever a state permit system may say, it cannot override federal Endangered Species Act protections. A state exotic animal permit does not make it legal to possess a federally protected endangered species. The federal law is controlling. Private red panda ownership in the United States is effectively illegal without exception. In the red panda's native countries, Nepal, Bhutan, India, Myanmar, and China, red pandas are protected under national wildlife laws. In India, They are protected under Schedule I of the Wildlife Protection Act, which provides the highest level of legal protection available. Trade, capture, and possession are illegal. There is no country in the world where private red panda ownership is straightforward, legal, and available to ordinary individuals. Beyond the legal reality, let us talk honestly about why even if private ownership were legal, it would be effectively impossible to do well. Temperature. Red pandas are adapted to cool, high-altitude environments with year-round temperatures typically between 40 and 77 degrees Fahrenheit. When ambient temperature exceeds 77 degrees, they become heat-stressed and lethargic. In most of the continental United States, particularly during summer months, maintaining an outdoor environment within this thermal range is either impossible or requires industrial-scale climate control infrastructure. An indoor air-conditioned space might approximate the temperature requirement, but fails to meet the other environmental needs. Bamboo. Red pandas need fresh bamboo, specific species, selected for tenderness and nutritional quality, in enormous daily quantities equivalent to 30% of their body weight. In most of the United States, fresh bamboo of appropriate species is not commercially available in the quantities needed. Accredited zoos that keep red pandas maintain living bamboo plantations specifically for feeding them. Replicating this for a private household is logistically and financially extraordinary. Space and habitat. Red pandas need tall trees to climb and sleep in, dense vegetation for cover, and environmental complexity that approximates their natural high-altitude forest habitat. A domestic home environment, regardless of yard size, cannot provide this. The enclosure requirements for a red panda that meets their psychological and physical needs are equivalent to those of a small zoological facility. The musky odor. Red pandas produce a strong musky scent from glands near their tail that they use for territorial marking. This odor is persistent, pervasive, and most people find it deeply unpleasant. It would permanently permeate any indoor living space the animal inhabits. Combined with the bamboo dietary requirements, which produce significant waste volume, the sanitation and odor management in a private home setting would be extraordinary. The interaction reality. Red pandas are solitary animals that do not seek human interaction. A red panda in a private home would not cuddle, follow its owner, or seek affection. It would be a stressed, isolated wild animal attempting to navigate an environment completely inappropriate for its biology. While its owner watched a creature that looks like a living stuffed animal display none of the behaviors they imagined when they wanted one. Red pandas are not a catastrophic physical danger to children in the way tigers or cassowaries are, but they are not safe, appropriate, or suitable in a household with children. Red pandas have long, sharp claws that grip tree bark and can easily lacerate skin. They are not domesticated and do not tolerate being handled by strangers or in unfamiliar circumstances. A child approaching a red panda with the enthusiasm most children bring to cute animals would encounter an animal that is stressed, defensive, and capable of inflicting painful scratches. Beyond the physical risk, the presence of children represents a source of chronic stress for an animal that is naturally solitary, shy, and deeply sensitive to environmental disruption. That stress directly harms the animal's health and well-being. Family verdict, not appropriate under any circumstances. The legal prohibition alone settles this question before it gets to safety. What would genuinely appropriate red panda care require in terms of cost and infrastructure? Enclosure. A large outdoor space with mature trees for climbing and sleeping, dense vegetation, natural substrate, and an ambient temperature maintained between 40 and 77 degrees Fahrenheit year-round. In most of the United States, maintaining this temperature range year-round outdoors is impossible. Indoors, it requires industrial climate control. Enclosure construction meeting even basic standards for a red panda would cost tens of thousands of dollars minimum. Bamboo supply. Fresh bamboo of appropriate species in quantities of several pounds per day, sourced fresh, not dried or preserved. Establishing and maintaining a living bamboo plantation of appropriate species and scale costs significantly and requires specialized horticultural knowledge. Veterinary care. Red Panda veterinary medicine is a niche specialist field. Very few private practice exotic vets have specific Red Panda experience. Accredited zoos with Red Pandas maintain relationships with specialist veterinarians who visit specifically for this purpose. Finding appropriate veterinary care for a private Red Panda in the United States would be extraordinarily difficult. Annual cost estimate. Accredited zoos report significant ongoing costs for Red Panda care, covering bamboo supply, specialized diet supplements, enclosure maintenance, climate management, and specialist veterinary care. Over a 12 to 14-year captive lifespan, the total cost of genuinely appropriate care for a single Red Panda would be substantial, likely several $100,000 over the animal's lifetime. For a private individual without institutional infrastructure, this cost would be significantly higher. The completely honest balance list. The genuine pros, for context only and not as encouragement. The Red Panda is one of the most visually extraordinary and biologically fascinating mammals on Earth. It is an evolutionary singularity with no close relatives. Its bamboo-eating behavior and false thumb represent one of the most remarkable examples of convergent evolution in the animal kingdom. For accredited zoological institutions with appropriate facilities, trained staff, climate management, and bamboo supply chains, Red Pandas in managed care contribute to conservation through captive breeding programs, research, and public education that genuinely benefits the species. The genuine cons, and they are absolute. Private ownership is illegal under federal U.S. law and CITES Appendix I. No permit exists for private pet ownership. Violations carry fines up to $50,000 and federal prison time. The environmental requirements, temperature, bamboo supply, habitat complexity are impossible to meet in a private home. Red Pandas are solitary and do not bond with humans in any meaningful way. They produce a pervasive musky odor. Their sharp claws can cause serious scratches. Every Red Panda in private ownership represents an animal stripped from a wild population that has already lost 50% of its individuals in 20 years. And the social media virality that makes people want one is the same force that is driving the poaching that is killing the species. Danger level for the Red Panda, 3 out of 10 to humans. 10 out of 10 to the species from private ownership demand. Red Pandas can scratch seriously with their sharp arboreal claws and will bite when stressed or threatened. These injuries, while not life-threatening to healthy adults, are painful and carry infection risk. The 3-point rating reflects this physical risk during handling. It does not reflect the catastrophic danger that private ownership demand represents to the species itself. Every private Red Panda is an animal taken from or representing demand pressure on a wild population of fewer than 10,000 individuals. At that population size, every individual removed from the wild gene pool matters enormously to the species' survival. So, should you keep a Red Panda? Our verdict is no. Clearly, firmly. And in this case, with a sense of genuine urgency that we do not bring to every episode. The Red Panda is one of the most beautiful animals on Earth. It is also one of the most vulnerable. Fewer than 10,000 individuals remaining in fragmented forest habitats across 5 countries. A population that has dropped by half in 20 years. A species whose primary threats include a pet trade demand that is being directly fueled by the viral social media content that makes millions of people fall in love with it every day. Private ownership of a Red Panda is illegal under U.S. federal law with no exceptions for private households. It is prohibited under CITES Appendix I internationally. It is physically impossible to do well in any private home setting. And every Red Panda that leaves the wild, whether through direct poaching or through the demand signal created by people wanting them as pets, is a loss that a species at this population level cannot absorb. Here is what you can do instead. Support the Red Panda Network, the leading organization working with local communities in Nepal to protect red panda habitat and reduce poaching. Support the WWF Red Panda Adoption Program. Visit an accredited zoo or sanctuary where you can experience this animal properly cared for by professionals who are genuinely contributing to its conservation. Share this video with everyone who has ever watched a red panda video and thought I want one, because understanding the connection between that desire and the animal's survival matters. The red panda does not need to be owned. It needs to exist. Those are different things, and right now, existence is the one that needs our support. So should you keep one? No, but you should care about this animal more after watching this video than you did before. That care, directed toward conservation rather than ownership, is what the red panda actually needs from us. Thank you so much for watching. Hit the like button right now. Sharing this video with people who love red pandas is one of the most useful things you can do for this species today. Subscribe so you never miss the next animal. Drop a comment below. Did you know about the social media and poaching connection before today? I want to hear your reaction. See you in the next one.